Have you ever witnessed someone simply walk out of another person's life, leaving behind a gaping emotional void? That person might be a Sigma male, a man who, once he's reached his breaking point, refuses to invest another ounce of time, energy, or emotion into a relationship that has crossed his boundaries. It's not about creating chaos, starting fights, or demanding apologies. Instead, he quietly disengages, closing the door with finality. Once he's made his decision, he's gone for good. In this video, we'll explore 10 reasons why Sigma males never look back once they've walked away from someone. Though this might seem distant or even cold to some, for the Sigma male, it's an act of self-preservation, one that revolves around maintaining personal boundaries and holding on to his self-respect at all costs. Number 1, he reaches an irrevocable point. When a Sigma male decides that a relationship is no longer worth salvaging, the shift doesn't happen gradually, it's a sudden, irreversible mental pivot. In his mind, the relationship has already ended long before he physically leaves. One moment, he may still be cordial, engaging in civil conversation, or even showing kindness. But internally, he's already mentally checked out. Every past transgression, every broken promise, and every betrayal has been tallied, and the weight of those offenses becomes too much to bear. The final straw might be something small, like a careless lie or a crossed boundary, but for the Sigma male, this is the moment when he mentally locks the door and throws away the key. There's no hesitation or second guessing. Once he reaches this point, the relationship is over in his mind, and there's no turning back. It's like flipping a switch from, maybe we can fix this, to you no longer exist in an instant. For the Sigma, there's no gray area. The door is shut, and he moves on. Number 2, he believes in moving on, not repeating the past. While many people are open to the idea of second chances, the Sigma male has a different outlook. Once trust has been broken, there's no reason for him to risk emotional damage by reopening the same wounds. For him, second chances are often just an invitation to revisit the same toxic patterns that led to the breakdown in the first place. Trying to rebuild trust after it's been betrayed doesn't just invite more conflict, it's a futile exercise in emotional masochism. The Sigma male believes that once something has been broken beyond repair, the best course of action is to walk away and move forward, leaving the past behind. Rather than holding on to false hope or relying on promises of change, he chooses to cut ties and focus on healthier relationships or retreat into solitude. To him, second chances aren't about growth. They're about prolonging a cycle of pain and disappointment. Number 3, he finds closure within himself. When a relationship ends, many people search for closure through conversations, apologies, or mutual understanding. But the Sigma male doesn't rely on others to give him closure. He works through his emotions in private, processing everything internally until he reaches a point of peace. Once he makes the decision to leave, he doesn't feel the need to hear explanations or seek validation from the other person. He might leave them wondering what went wrong, but for him, that's not the point. If someone couldn't respect his boundaries when they were in place, he knows that no amount of discussion will change that. For the Sigma, closure is a personal journey, and he doesn't waste energy hoping for a last conversation to make everything right. Once he's made up his mind, he closes the door mentally and emotionally, never to reopen it. Number 4, he prefers quick pain to prolonged hurt. A breakup or emotional separation is never easy, and the Sigma male understands this. However, he believes it's better to face the immediate, sharp pain of leaving a toxic relationship than to drag it out and endure a prolonged period of suffering. If staying means more disappointment, more broken trust, and emotional drain, he'd rather walk away quickly. While some may see this as cold or heartless, the Sigma male views it as an act of self-preservation. He'd rather feel the sting of a breakup now and begin the healing process than endure months or years of emotional erosion. This approach may seem ruthless to others, but for him, it's about maintaining his emotional integrity and avoiding the slow, toxic burn of a relationship that's already beyond repair. Number 5, he sees loyalty as non-negotiable. Loyalty is sacred to the Sigma male, and once it's broken, it can never be repaired. It's not about giving people multiple chances or allowing time to heal wounds. It's about respecting a fundamental principle. When someone betrays his trust, the Sigma assumes they could betray him again. No matter how many heartfelt apologies or good memories they share, he sees loyalty as something that's either intact or completely destroyed. There's no room for negotiation or gradual rebuilding. This hard stance might surprise those who believe in the power of forgiveness, but for the Sigma, once loyalty is broken, it's permanently shattered. He doesn't waste time hoping for change. He simply closes the chapter and moves on. Number 6, he severely limits emotional investment. When the Sigma male walks away, it's not just about physically leaving, it's about cutting off all emotional investment. He may block the person on social media, remove shared photos, or mentally erase all reminders of the relationship. This emotional detachment is not a form of punishment. It's a protective measure. By distancing himself emotionally, he ensures that he won't be tempted to reconsider or reopen old wounds. This can be a jarring experience for the other person, who may have known the Sigma as warm and caring, only to encounter a wall of indifference. For the Sigma, this sudden emotional shutoff is a necessary step in moving on. It's his way of maintaining control over his emotions and ensuring that once he's walked away, he doesn't return. Number 7, he intentionally eliminates any possibility of reconciliation. Most people leave a door slightly ajar when parting ways, just in case reconciliation becomes possible. Not the Sigma male. Once he's decided to leave, he locks that door firmly behind him. He may unfriend the person on all social media platforms, remove himself from mutual circles, or even block anyone who might pass on updates. While this may seem overly harsh to some, the Sigma sees it as a necessary step to avoid manipulation or guilt tripping. If there's no way for the other person to re-enter his life, there's no chance of revisiting old problems or toxic cycles. The Sigma male's stance is simple. Once someone is out of his life, they're out for good. There's no going back. Number 8, he mentally erases the other person. For the Sigma male, once trust is broken and he's made the decision to leave, the other person no longer exists in his world. He mentally downgrades them to a non-entity, someone who no longer has any place in his plans, decisions, or social spaces. This isn't an act of spite or vengeance. It's simply how he processes the situation. By removing them from his mental and emotional landscape, he frees himself from the social or emotional obligations that might pull him back. To an outsider, this might appear chilling or ruthless, but for the Sigma, it's an essential step in moving on without hesitation or regret. Number 9, he believes in firm decisions. The Sigma male is someone who stands firm in his decisions, especially when it comes to boundaries. For him, letting someone back into his life after they've crossed a line would weaken his sense of self-respect. He'd rather face criticism for being cold or unforgiving than appear weak by reopening a door he intentionally closed. To the Sigma, making tough decisions and sticking to them is a matter of personal strength. It's not about being diplomatic or endlessly forgiving. It's about holding to his principles, no matter how difficult it may seem. This unwavering commitment to his values sets him apart from those who may be swayed by emotions or external pressure. Number 10, he doesn't feel the need to justify his actions. When a Sigma male walks away, he does so without offering long explanations or justifications. If the other person doesn't understand why he's leaving, it's because they never truly respected him or his boundaries. He doesn't owe anyone an explanation for his actions. Long explanations often lead to debates or manipulative attempts to change his mind, so he prefers silence. By leaving without dissecting the situation or offering excuses, he retains full control over his decision. The Sigma male values his peace of mind over the need for validation or closure from others. He'd rather leave the other person with questions than risk being drawn back into a toxic cycle. On final note, for the Sigma male, walking away from a relationship isn't just about ending a connection. It's about protecting his emotional well-being and maintaining the integrity of his personal code. Whether it's cutting emotional ties abruptly, refusing second chances, or upholding firm boundaries, each reason reflects his unshakable commitment to self-respect. While his approach may seem cold or distant to some, to him, it's the only way to avoid the chaos and turmoil that can arise from toxic or unhealthy relationships. What do you think about the Sigma male's approach to relationships? Do you agree with his mindset, or do you have a different perspective? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. For more such videos, please visit our channel. See you in the next video, soldiers.